Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you an apocalypse horror film. Only. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The film is set in a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by a deadly epidemic. The virus can infect and spread among both men and women, but strangely, it only kills women. The virus has caused havoc around the world, and experts are working hard to discover a cure. The female population is rapidly declining with each passing month, risking extinction. Since women can contract the virus from men living nearby, governments around the world have launched a campaign. The government transports the women to an isolation camp with the promise of keeping them safe. In reality, the women are taken to the camp and subjected to a series of severe and painful experiments to determine the true nature of the virus. Therefore, the government goes to great lengths to try to capture the women who have survived the virus. In the early scenes, we see a quarantined apartment inhabited by a man named William. At first glance, it looks like any other apartment, but we soon discover that it also houses a woman named Eva, his girlfriend. Eva is taking a shower, cleaning her dirty body of what appears to be ash. In fact, the virus has fallen to Earth in the form of ash that emerged from nowhere. Suspecting that she has been infected, Eva uses a kit to perform a swab test to verify. Eva has survived this long because William has carefully kept her hidden from the authorities. He doesn't allow her to go outside or use the phone. William's strict control over her freedom and movements has had a negative effect on the couple's relationship, even if it is for her own good. While the couple waits for the results, William notices a special forces team outside their home. The team is tasked with searching the house for surviving women. William immediately takes Eva to her room and helps her hide in a hiding place he built under the bed. Later, the special forces team enters and searches the residence. They then question William about why he built the quarantine. William says that the apartment was rented by his girlfriend and her friend who died from the virus. William firmly states that he meticulously built the quarantine to keep Eva's friend safe, but unfortunately, she died. The team then questions him about Eva, and he lies by claiming that she has been missing since the virus struck. After some time, the team becomes convinced that there are no women in the house, and they begin to leave. As the Special Forces team leaves, the sergeant stops for a moment and confesses that he knows Eva is here. The sergeant notices the swab test Eva left on the table. William looks at the test and realizes that Eva is infected. Knowing that infected women are subjected to horrible experiments, the sergeant decides to let them enjoy the last days of Eva's life. William is devastated. He has been committed for 400 days to protecting Eva from the virus, but now it is all over. So they decide to spend Eva's last days of life outside in nature. In addition, Eva wants to leave the house because the general isolation almost drives her crazy. Soon after, the two pack up their belongings and leave the house. Eva hides her hair and wears men's glasses. Later, they stop at a convenience store to get something to eat. Inside, they find the store clerk and try to avoid him. Eva discovers that the tampons are free. But when she tries to take one, the store clerk takes her hat off. He's shocked to see a woman after such a long time. William grabs his gun and threatens the store clerk to get on the ground. Then they give him money for the things they took and leave the convenience store. In the car, William scolds Eva for not being careful and putting her own life in danger. The scene then returns to 400 days ago when everything was normal. A news channel states that a rare comet is about to pass close to Earth. Then we see Eva and her friend in the apartment they are renting. Meanwhile, William, after years of courtship, also moves into this apartment. One day, while the two are alone, it starts snowing outside. The two are confused, but then realize it's actually ash. Soon after, Eva's friend comes home covered in ash. She tries to speak, but becomes dizzy and collapses to the ground. Back to the present, William and Eva approach a motel to rest for the night. In one of the rooms, they observe some suspicious-looking men with guns. While William goes to check in, Eva stays in the car. Soon after, a male prostitute approaches the car and invites Eva to play a game of hormones and watch Daniel CC horror movies together. Eva shows him that she has a gun, and the male prostitute walks off. Subsequently, Eva and William spend the night in the motel. The next day, Eva insists on having one last breakfast at a diner before heading into the woods, and William hesitantly agrees. Inside, they are shown the latest news, telling that scientists have created an artificial embryo in order to tackle the women extinction issue. In the latest experiments, the fetus survived for up to 1 month. Numerous international leaders have praised the discovery, as this may be the most likely method of human repopulation once a cure for the virus is discovered. As a result, the federal government is offering a $2 million prize for whoever delivers a surviving woman to them. While the two wait for food, Eva marks on the map the route that they must take to get to their destination. When everyone is glued to the television, two shady men enter the diner. The two men are some kind of bounty hunters, but they only hunt women. Suddenly, Eva starts bleeding from the ear, a sign that her death is near. William notices this and rushes her out of the diner, forgetting the map on the table. Unfortunately, this attracts the attention of the bounty hunter and his teenage son. The hunter suspects that William is together with a woman, and after finding the map on the table, they go after the couple. In the car, Eva begins to hemorrhage, which throws William into a panic because it is the first stage of the infection cycle. In frustration, he begins to recite the entire cycle to Eva, infuriating her. As a result, Eva orders him to pull over and rushes into the adjacent bushes. However, as he proceeds, he gets fatigued and begins to cry in despair. After a while, she returns, and the couple continues the journey in the car. Later, they stop and drive into the woods to reach their final destination, a hidden waterfall. William is heartbroken at the prospect of losing the love of his life, but Eva tries to be as optimistic as possible, eager to make the most of their last moments together. The film returns again to the first day when it all began. William and Eva rush her infected friend to the hospital, but before long, she is pronounced dead. While exploring the hospital, William discovers that all the patients are women. Realizing that his wife's life may be in danger, William sneaks into a room and steals two protective suits to protect themselves from the virus. Then the two escape through the back entrance. On their way home, they call Eva's father, who is a doctor. The father warns the couple to quarantine themselves, which William promptly does. William begins to secure the house with furniture, germ-resistant plastic, and other safety devices. Eva is casual about safety precautions, but William is more serious and cautious about everything. William stays up all night boiling water because he has discovered that it's contaminated. In addition, he bought a lot of packaged food. William has also installed ultraviolet lights throughout the house, which he says eliminate bacteria within 3 feet. In addition, to protect her, he wears a mask and tries to keep a safe distance from Eva. Originally, authorities were confident that they would stop the virus in a few weeks, but several months pass, and the infection continues to kill the women. Eventually, the government asks all women to participate in medical institutions for the Embryo project, which attempts to repopulate the planet. The government-controlled media tries to create a positive image of the detention institutions, but the internet is quickly flooded with conspiracy theories about horrible experiments on women. As a result, William refuses to turn Eva over to the government and builds a bed with a hiding place for her. Over the next 6 months, the couple begins to quarrel more and more as William becomes more and more strict and forces her to abide by all the precautionary rules. William even forbids her to use the telephone for fear that the government might be listening in. During the pandemic, Eva turns to a hidden online community of only women for companionship. William again tries to dissuade her from using the forum, but she refuses to listen because the survivors participating in the conversation are her only source of support. However, the number of survivors in the chat continues to decrease, giving Eva a sense of futility and despair. Back in the present, William and Eva walk for hours while she continues to take pictures with her camera. At night, they build a fire and set up camp. Eva wants to do some hormone therapy with William and asks him to undress her. Her chest is now wrapped with duct tape to make herself look like a man. William, on the other hand, is cold and aloof. After removing the tape, he exits the tent, leaving her high and dry. The next day, the couple continues their journey, and Eva continues to try to cheer William up. He finally begins to relax and decides to teach Eva to shoot. In the process, we see the hunter and his son trace the couple's whereabouts like mad dogs and finally approach the woods in a car. The two intend to capture Eva to get the $2 million reward. Soon after, they arrive at their destination, thanks to the map they picked up at the diner, and they enter the forest with weapons. Later that evening, Eva and William camp, and when they try to rekindle their hormone ship, she suffers a seizure. William cushions her head and helps her relax. The next day, Eva gets up early to go collect water from the river. In the process, the hunter and his son find the couple's tent. William starts yelling at Eva to run away, and the two thugs threaten to kill him. Afterward, the hunter ties up William, and they wait for Eva to return. As Eva makes her way to the tent, she sees from a distance the two unknown men holding William captive. The hunter eventually spots Eva and pursues her. Eva begins to flee her shitty life and manages to hide her body's smell under a rock. The hunter tries to find her like an angry dog, but to no avail. Having no other choice, the hunter holds William hostage in hopes that Eva will return on her own. After a couple of hours, the hunter goes to sleep and wakes his son to keep an eye on William. Later, Eva comes up with a brilliant plan and arrives at the tent completely naked. She approaches the hunter's son seductively. The son is still heartbroken over the death of his lover, and after not having seen a woman for over a year, he is enchanted by any girl, ugly or beautiful. Taking advantage of that, Eva runs her hand over his face and then bangs his head against the log. She then frees William from the tree. However, the hunter wakes up from his pig-like sleep and takes his gun. He shoots William in the knee through the tent, but William manages to kill him with the rifle. Afterward, William and Eva run away. The film goes back to day 400 from when the disaster all started. Eva's phone receives several missed calls from her father. This worries her because they had decided not to use the phone for security reasons. Recognizing that something is wrong, Eva insists on talking to her father, but William only agrees to a video call with the camera and microphone turned off. Eva's distraught father recounts that the government kidnapped Eva's mother despite the fact that she is over 60 years old. He then sobs and expresses his desire to see his daughter. But when an emotional Eva turns on the camera and microphone, William intervenes and hangs up the phone. As a result, the grieving Eva loses her temper and assaults him for keeping her segregated. She then threatens him with a gun and orders him to leave for good. Eva feels more and more suffocated in her apartment with each passing day. Living in quarantine and watching millions of people die from an unknown epidemic was not the life she wanted. She sees an image of a waterfall on her laptop. The image reminds her of peace, love, and freedom, so she chooses to go outside. She puts on her protective suit and rushes to the roof of the apartment complex. Outside, William notices that it is again snowing with ash and immediately returns to Eva. He discovers that she's not home and rushes to the roof to stop her. However, before he can do anything, Eva rips off her suit and is infected with the virus. William bursts into tears and collapses on the ground, realizing that everything he has fought for more than a year has been shattered. Back in the present, William and Eva continue walking, finally arriving at the hidden waterfall. The couple embraces, knowing that they have only a few more minutes together. He kisses her, and she takes a selfie, ready to die in a happy and relieved state of mind. Eva thinks she has burdened William and smiles as she awaits her death, hoping that her beloved will be able to live a proper life soon. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.